So welcome. Hi, Yvonne. So perfect timing. So just get comfortable. And what we're going to do is begin with this week. It's 45-minute session. We have week 2 of the 4-week series for intuitive awakening and connecting with the spirit world. And last week we were able to begin with our friends in high places. And so I'm just going to go through the beginning of the slide here. Landscape of the spirit world was last week, where we began to take a look at who's in the spirit world. We're going to continue exploring the landscape of the spirit world. And we met our friends in high places last week. And today we're going to really open ourselves up to experience that beautiful realm of the ascended masters. And so here, meet the ascended masters.
Thanks.
We're going to cover who are they, what are their functions and the responsibilities, and how we could recognize them in our lives. So meet the ascended masters. So literally, when you think about what an ascended master is, we all have these different visions or understandings that come to mind. And what I wanted to say is, here are the basic rules, and there's always exceptions to the rules of the spirit world. They lived as human beings. So I just wanted to ask if we could, unless there's questions, just if we could mute the line, because I'm hearing like a staticky background, just so that I want you to have a really nice experience. And then when we share, you could unmute. Thank you so kindly. So the first thing is, they lived as human beings. And how they were time after time. And if you are someone who believes in reincarnation, Buddha philosophy and many of these ascended masters believe that we return to evolve so that we could remember that we are that love and that light that's within us. And it's called transcending that into pure consciousness. And if you could imagine this realm that we are all part of and we're not separate of, that we can access through our higher self. And as we are going through life with the triggers of triggers of healing wounds and being burdened and betrayal and learning to grow and evolve, to see our lesson to experience an awakening. And that is throughout the human cycle. It is bringing us from being a victim to a victor, to ascend. Sometimes people suffer. And as we're going to say, the ascended masters help us to wake up to that pure light, that oneness that we are already a part of, so that we could begin to learn those lessons and really understand who we are in this human aspect. So lived as human beings, but also demigods and goddesses. So it's also all those mythical beings that you hear about in Chinese culture, the goddesses energy, the beautiful beings in ancient India and Egypt. There's so many beautiful beings. They also can be depicted with having halos around them because they're a channel of God and live from their higher self. They have begun to open up and they transcend fear. Meaning, if we could take a look at the landscape of the spirit world in such a way that our minds could wrap around the intellect and understand it, imagine, if you will, the highest of high up here. We're just going to say for placement's sake, because that's how we see things, as being high vibrational up there. And fear this is all pure love and light. It's consciousness. And that's where ascended master realm. And it's beautiful because it's in the same frequency of those guardian angels, of those angels and archangels even, that we connected with in week 1. And from that, there is no fear. They transcended fear. They were able to move out of seeing themselves to be self-serving and to be a victim in life. And they were able to open up to unconditional love, no judgment. And they were able to be of service to others and not to serve themselves. Most of us on this planet are trying to survive and serve ourselves, and we don't often even think that we feel alone and separate. But the ascended masters have been able to really overcome. They have walked this earth plane and overcame those illusions of separation, and were able to see nothing but love and compassion. And we're going to take a look at some of the ascended masters that you may already recognize in your path. This is not a religious course. This is just us taking a look in this spiritual world at the esoteric wisdom. But I will talk about some of those people. So another thing is they're egoless. They don't have this need, or you should, or you could. They are beautiful, loving, and patient beings, much like our guardian angels were. They come with wisdom and peace and lightness in them. And they are, like I said, they're not self-serving. They've gone from that over lifetime and lifetime to being of service and pure loving intentions. And they transcend time and space. So that means that if we are connecting with the ascended master of Jesus or Kuan Yin or even Buddha, all those beautiful beings, they transcend time and space. They are, their essence of what they have transcended into can become available to all of us. And we attract those ascended masters in our lives because that is the area that we are so passionate, and it's a part of our life's path journey. Lessons that we are overcoming, much of the consciousness that they had, and they bring it to us in energy, in visions in our life. And we'll talk about how. So they were ancient teachers, gurus, and words, but they don't have to be ancient. And there are so many of them. That's why they call it the Christ consciousness or the Buddha consciousness or whatever. It's just pure consciousness that we all have access to through our higher self. And how we get there is literally in guided meditation. When we become still and we align our mind and our heart, it's that presence of the present moment that we have a portal into Christ consciousness, and whatever you're comfortable wording it, but we could just call it consciousness, where the ascended masters are accessible. They're not that they're separate from us. It's just that we could become aware consciously of them when we are in meditation or contemplation, or even walking and having a thought and question and pondering it. We could be telepathically receiving that guidance. But in meditation today, we're going to experience them. So how to recognize them is often ascended masters. When I see a client, when I even sit still, they are beautiful beings of light that are like beams into the crown. They're often light beams because they are ascended. They're pure light. But you may also experience them as they were on this earth plane. So how you might also see them, because they're ascended masters and they're very high frequency that match the guardian angel realm, they often hang out all in the room, very large, but I see them mostly above the crown of people. So open up and you might even physically experience them in that area. I also see sparkles of light. Ascended masters have this beautiful light beam energy, and often Jesus for me, ascended master Jesus, he shows up with blue sparkles with white balls. And other times I see images of him. I see the images of the cloak that I see him wearing with the beard. I see images that were portrayed in paintings and books that I have witnessed and seen. That's how he also may come to mind. But symbolically, Jesus also for me shows up with the cross. And sometimes Jesus will reference the cross being put on a side, like sacrificing, or it'll be put on top or close to the heart, like someone who is so compassionate, nurturing, and unconditionally loving. So there's many different ways in which these ascended masters may provide you with signs visually on who they are and how they're helping you, because you may recognize them and the qualities. We're talking about the qualities next. But also, there must have been some law in the ascended master realm, because not just myself, but so many light workers that I have conversations with always explain how they also do see these ascended masters with beards and gowns and sandals as if they were from some ancient time showing up. And I don't know if it's that they just got together in the ascended master realm and said, we're just going to show up and let them know that this is how their ascended master wants to be recognized. But sometimes they just show up with the walking staffs of wisdom and the just symbolically on how they look. Sometimes you can even get a council. There's many people that channel these beautiful collective wisdoms from ascended masters, outworldly, cosmic even. And if you take a look at Esther Hicks and the Abraham who she channels, I feel like they're the ascended masters of cosmics, and they come in and the wisdom, such love and wisdom. If you haven't heard of her, you could look up on YouTube so many free channelings of wisdom for our evolution, for overcoming our life when we're in suffering and hurt and pain. And she helps to bring such easy information for us. So that's an example of that. But just other things that might come to mind. I shared with you the cross, but also the other things in which could be the Ankh symbol, which is an ancient Egyptian symbol, which is also about the eternal life, the life and death. Could be the type of clothing that you may have seen them wear, or the staff again. But you also may be able to feel them palpably. You could hear their wisdom because because they have such an openness, huge hearts, but they're also cognitive, so claircognitive, and they're so super empathic. They feel for others because they were so able to transcend the human that they began to open up to all their psychic capacities. And it was said that Jesus was very clairvoyant and clairempathic. He was able to feel and to know. He was a channeler of God's words, of the truths. And so too are many of those ascended masters. They channeled wisdom beyond the average person. They had an old soul, as you could imagine. So one thing I wanted to share is that I have this book that I've been trying to read. Wayne Dyer spoke about this book. I don't know if you can see it. It's the I Am Discourses, and it's all of the ascended masters and Saint Germain, and it's Jesus, and Saint Germain is another ascended master. And I just love reading the I Am Discourses, because one of the things that the ascended masters are helping us to understand, and this is what this meditation is going to help open up and bridge that gap between you and your higher self and oneness with this beautiful realm, is the understanding about the I Am Discourses. So Jesus was heard to have said, I am myself can do nothing. I of myself can do nothing. It is the Father within, the I am, that doeth the work. So it's literally, it's without just us in our intellect and our ego and our subconscious mind, we don't create. Our will in alliance and alignment with God's will together, we co-create when we open up to that pure consciousness. That is what my interpretation of that means. And I love that. I love that book if you're interested in it. However, this list is not complete. This is a list of some of the ascended masters. There are so many, I don't even know the number, but I know that it is beyond this. Beyond. We have biblical and people who were from all backgrounds of the ancient Indian, Hindu, and the Chinese, the Buddhist philosophy, and also ancient Egypt and beyond. And there's more. There's tons and tons. So some of them on the list is Mary Magdalene and Jesus and Saint Germain. As you can see, this list is not exhaustive. And then it's the Isis and all these Ganesh. I'm going to actually go through some of them. So there you have it. This is the last, but you may be connecting with some of them. But before I get into the next few slides so that you can start to open your mind to some of the ways in which they might show up for you in today's meditation, because I'm going to go over a few slides to showcase some of the ascended masters. But can you think of a time when you look back and you can see how you were guided? Creative insights, because it's that stream when you're consciously thinking about how am I going to make this problem work? How am I going to solve this issue? How am I going to decorate my room or collectively understand the function of the ego, or any pondering question that you have in terms of creative insights, a download of knowing, because often that's how it comes. If you often experience ascended masters, it's with great wisdom and a feeling. It could just be a download, like you just know it. Much like the way we can channel the words of someone we're bonded with, or we know, and we know what they're going to say. We know we finish the words before they're finished. That's the ascended master realm. That's literally how it supports us. Very telepathically, it gives us those feelings, gives us those aha moments, those clarities, those epiphanies. But it's overwhelming insight. And even inventions, if you are tapping and tuning in and you're trying to figure out the function of a utensil or a tool, and all of a sudden, many inventors, they have this radio station vibe that tunes into this intelligence that's so beyond their physical understanding, and then they just get these creations, and it's wonderful. And that's basically tapping into the wavelength that's like frequency into. And I also had many inventions that came to mind when I was used to take the train, and I'd always say, we need better, how do we fix this, the third world country's water issue? And I would have these mechanisms shown. And later when I would go and I talked to my friend who was an engineer, they would say, well, that's already invented. And I would never have known that because that's something beyond my education. But I got shown this beautiful device, and that really opened my mind and heart to understand how that realm works more. And so just open up your mind if you have questions, because you can even wake up in dreams. You can even have these quotes and references of wisdom that you're constantly having reminded of. It's that ascended master realm. So that is how they work with us and beyond. So to get right into this for time's sake, Gautama Buddha was the awakened one, known as the enlightened one. And he was a meditator, spiritual teacher, and religious leader of ancient India, who we know now. And now there's many Buddhas. And the teachings were based on the end of suffering. And because there was the belief that our incarnation, we are here for many, many lives, and it's our ability to end that cycle when we ascend fear, when we ascend and we are nothing but pure love and light, the egoless essence. And so that is what his teaching is. I did the discourse. It was a 10-day intensive Dhamma. It's the art of living, the Dhamma meditation, Vipassana centers. And I can't tell you, the teachings were so enlightening. And I kept on having quotes. I kept on waking up in the morning after doing these Buddha teachings, and I would find little wisdom quotes on Post-it notes. Eventually, I had my headboard all covered with Post-it notes. I felt like the ascended master of Gautama Buddha had been dialed into that frequency radio station, and I was getting more and more overcoming suffering of my own life, and I became more peaceful and more just wiser, and that's what it feels like. And so the other ascended master is Jesus, who can instill compassion and forgiveness in our hearts when we are struggling, peace and oneness with us and our Creator, and that we are all a child of God, reminding us that we are not separate, we're all innocent and loved. And often we have a hard time feeling, we don't always feel whole. Sometimes we feel damaged and not good enough. Well, Jesus is here to give us that unconditional love and to remind us that we, in God's love, are whole and perfect and loved. And so you might have struggles like that, and Jesus might be showing up for you. And it's also to have faith. So Kuan Yin, goddess of compassion, pinnacle of mercy, kindness, and love, hears the cries of human world, patron of seamen, and takes on all human form to teach Dharma. And I've heard of this beautiful essence of Kuan Yin that can come in and help others to be compassionate in a moment, like can take over and show up as a child that just holds your arm when you're feeling lost, right? It happens just that ascended master realm. Ganesh, the elephant head with multiple arms, and removes of obstacles and brings happiness. And the reason why there are so many arms is it's because it's depicting the arms in the future, arms in the past, but also in the spirit world and in the physical world. So doing lots of work in all aspects of realms of creation. And the patron of intellect, bakers, scribes, and authors. So you might see Ganesh, you might feel that there's obstacles in the way that are going to bring happiness. So Ganesh may be working with you, or you might be giving a reading and somebody might experience that. Lakshmi often wears a red dress embroidered with golden threads symbolizing fortune and wealth, and her name means to perceive, observe, to know, to understand a goal and aim, objective, respectively. It's like just having a broader perspective, a proper perspective on life, and to understand it. And that's Lakshmi's energy and how she might show up. And the arms, again, depicting the four arms, helps you to do the work in the spirit world and in the physical, helps to show up and to make those. It's a symbol of wealth and fortune. And of course, we can't forget the Saint Teresa of Calcutta, who just is the epiphany of, she just is pure love and just being able to go into the places that humanity wasn't even able to go in, much like Jesus. That energy is very much like her. And she was able to help those who were the poorest of the poorest. And it was even said that she said they lived like animals, but died like angels, because she made sure, even if she couldn't bring these people who were living on this street destitute and to just die, she was able to bring them into the last days of their life to either heal them or to allow them to have a proper death, where they would be garmed they would be cleaned and put in a white gown and to put to rest in a space and that she had opened up for them. She had founded the Missionaries of Charity. And it was just such love, and the writings and the teachings that she gave humanity. And she's a saint. She's an ascended masters. I often see her. She shows up to me. I feel fluttering in my heart with a smile. And I always see that cloth around her, that nun, that Mother Teresa look. That is how she shows up. I feel her in my heart, and I see that cloak. Often I see her in a black and white like an outline, or I feel her in my heart. And you will begin to understand the feelings between the realms when we practice. So let's just say we have Meet the Ascended Masters. And I put Isis in as well, the Egyptian goddess, because she's all about magic and her fertility and motherhood and about death, healing, and rebirth. I always, when I know I see these wings expanded, I just know that she's there for helping us regarding our healing. And this symbol, it's eternal. That Ankh sign, I don't know if I'm saying that right. I always call it the Ankh sign, but it's a symbol of the Egyptian
Ankh.
hieroglyphs. Go ahead.
Ankh.
Ankh, thank you. I knew I wasn't saying it right. Ankh, as the Egyptians believed that one's earthly journey was only part of an eternal life, and the Ankh symbolizes both mortal existence and the afterlife. So you'll even begin to see symbols that you may not even know, geometric symbols, not just from the archangels around the angels, but also from the ascended masters. I often see cloaks. I often see staffs, all sorts of beautiful things. Just be open today, because we are going to expect these beautiful miracles to come through and to guide us so that we can begin to, and afterwards journal it and research it, because that's how I learned who they were. When I saw these beautiful beings with multiple arms, beams of light coming through them, I often saw goddesses with little crystals over their third eye. It was so unbelievable. So I began to do the work. And when I found out who they are, that's how you begin to get to know them. You begin to build your relationship with these beautiful beings who are so wanting to bring ascension into this world and to the whole universe. So if there aren't any questions, I will begin the meditation, because we have a good 25 minutes, or at least 20 minutes to go in and experience these realms, but hang out at the end. Let's save our questions for the end, and I'll leave some time for then. And I'll begin the music. And just getting comfortable in your chair as I prepare my music.
Battery 100%. Connected to Kirsten's iPhone.
Okay, we'll begin this beautiful music. Just allowing, just bringing your attention into the room. Just noticing as we just begin to wind down and clear our energy fields. We begin to,
Kirsten's iPhone.
oops, sorry.
Disconnected. Ready to connect.
So just allow your body to just be present in your chair, your seat, and allow yourself to just begin to feel your legs and your just all aspects of your body just sinking in down into your chair like gravity. Just like as a place to just release your energy.
Battery 100%.
I'm sorry.
Connected to
Give me a minute. Just
Kirsten's
keep
iPhone.
breathing as I get the music perfect.
Kirsten,
Yes?
I don't know if anybody else had this experience last week.
Can
But
we
the-
share at the end?
Well,
I'd
it has
love-
to do, it's about the music.
Oh,
It-
yes,
it-
please. Yes?
It has this tendency to cut in and out a lot. And
Okay, then what I'll
cut-
do is I'll just leave it on lightly and I'll just do my
Yeah.
talking then. Thanks so much, Tom, for that feedback. Thank you. Okay. So as we just allow ourselves to be present in our chair, in our seat. And as we just bring our awareness into the environment around us, just notice the temperature in the room. Maybe you're noticing how your body feels with the clothes that's on your body, on your skin, and allowing yourself to just become tuned in and begin to become aware of your senses, your metaphysical senses. We begin to use our physical body to gauge the temperature of the room. Maybe you're feeling a nice soft stillness, or your pressure in your chair and this beautiful chair that's supporting you now. Whatever you're experiencing. And now as we begin to notice what you can hear with your ears, allow yourself to become aware of the beautiful sounds that amplify when you begin to soften your mind to listening without judging. Perhaps there's some distance, fan, or sounds of nature, or people outside the window, or cars going by. All is well. Just allow yourself to open up to hear this beautiful energy. And now as we begin to allow yourself to smell and to taste, just bringing your awareness to what you smell in the room. Perhaps it's just spring coming through the window, or some beautiful smells of cooking or flowers nearby. Or maybe metaphysically, you're smelling the presence of the archangel realm that's here, as well as all beings in the spirit worlds that are overwatching us as we open up to this journey today. And now that we are more attuned, we go into the internal being and begin to close your eyes if you haven't already, and allow yourself to experience, with scanning your mind up and down, any palpable sensations in your body. And as you begin to just notice where you are, bring a softness to the muscles, tendons, tissues when you breathe out, with the intention of surrendering any tension or vibration that is not serving you for peace and ease. Breathing in, we fill it with beautiful love and light, and just notice how intelligent and innately intuitive our body is. As we breathe in, it will fill up any area of our energy bodies, our chakras that require calm tuning. Maybe you feel it swirling in your shoulders and your throat chakra or your upper heart. Breathing out sends, it dissolves and disintegrates anything that is of fear, any just mental thoughts or emotions that linger, and it just dissolves and disintegrates it into peace, ease, and tranquility now. Beautiful. And as we continue, we allow that breath even more to become aware of it. And as we do, we breathe in. And each time we breathe in, we fill our body and mind with more ease and peace. And we open our hearts as this intention for today's guided meditation with the Ascended Master Realm. But we first invite God's will. We ask for all the beautiful support of the beings who work uniquely with us. Those beautiful Ascended Masters, our guardian angels as well, so that we could be guided to experience for our highest good, healing, insights, clarity on all areas of our life today as we connect with those in the Ascended Master Realm. So as we open up with this intention, we allow ourselves to give permission so that we may see the Ascended Masters in all of our senses through our insight, our mind's eye, through symbols teaching us. We give that permission now. We also give permission to those beautiful beings, the Ascended Master Realm, to go into our heart, into the emotional realm for healing as well today, and also our mental realm, because the aspect of which they bring is for us to awaken to our higher self and to know who we truly are as a child of God. And we welcome and open up to this intention today. And as we begin, we want to bring our attention to our crown chakra. And in doing so, we allow ourselves to see this beautiful golden ball of light, the infinite portal into the mind of God, the Christ consciousness, Buddha consciousness, that beautiful realm of gold and white light. And allow yourself to just begin to become aware of its presence, like a warm, beautiful liquid shower that pours into your mind, into your left and right hemisphere of your brain, into the center of the pituitary and the pineal gland that's cleansing and clearing your physical aspect so that it is the seat of God. It's the insight into the infinite mind, the Ascended Master Realm. You might be experiencing this like a ball of light that just penetrates out like a halo all around you. Breathe it in. As you begin to become one with this massive light, it expands and fills your whole field in your body field up, and it penetrates into every cell of your being, experiencing it down your throat, down the back of your eyes, melting and cleansing your ear chakras, your shoulders, your back. And in doing so, it just transmutes any tension and fear, and just deepening it. And you just allow yourself to just become one now, as it pours down even further into your heart, your back of your heart, under your shoulders, cleansing and clearing any judgments that you may have, and cleansing, clearing any holds that you have on burdens in your past, just opening up this unconditional portal of love now. And as you breathe in and you breathe out, it deepens into your essence and every cell, filling your lungs, all chambers of your heart, and all through that beautiful veins and vessels into all areas of your body, through the parts pumping. And it has penetrated into your lungs' capacity to pump oxygen to every aspect of your being and beyond in the physical. Just feeling it penetrating all the way down into your solar plexus, cleansing and clearing the mental body, that aspect and old beliefs that you had that limit who you are on a mental subconsciousness. Allowing those beautiful ascended masters to begin coming through even further. Begin to recognize around you symbols, signs, feelings of emotions. Perhaps you're just experiencing sparkles of light, or just these massive beings that so lovingly are pouring light into you from your crown. Or they're just standing symbolically at your side or in front of you. Notice what they look like. What ascended master is helping you with your head and heart, opening you to know and recognize who you truly are for your path of overcoming the illusions of separation, overcoming your ego's hold on who you are from God's love, from God's vision and heart and knowing of who we are. Perhaps you're seeing beautiful Mother Mary, that is standing at your right-hand side. Beams of love and peace to nurture yourself, to love yourself. Maybe this beautiful being helps you to bring compassion in your life. Notice that beautiful white light of Mother Mary. Perhaps you're noticing Mother Teresa at your back, guiding you to be less self-serving and more service to others. Don't be afraid. Have faith in being of service. God knows to know God is to be of service to God. So maybe there's areas of your life that this ascended master is helping you to have faith and to be a support, a counselor, a friend to others in holding the light as a light worker in a spiritual business. Perhaps you're seeing the beautiful ancient goddesses, Isis, maybe the ancient India Hindu goddesses, Ganesh, and all those beautiful, powerful beings that are bringing you an understanding about how you could be abundant with love, with nurturing and producing, taking your creative ideas on those projects and putting them like seeds of thoughts in your minds and your hearts. I allow you now to just open up and ask the Ascended Master, who is with me in my life's path now. Allow yourself to take a moment to experience the visual, the color, symbols, or the feel in your heart. Is the energy of this Ascended Master pouring into your mind, helping you to become more creative and wise? Is it pouring into your throat to be more self-authentic and express yourself with no permission? Or are these Ascended Masters supporting you in your heart to let go of the past and to embrace the future, the new? Are they helping you in your solar plexus, in your belly, to really cleanse and clear the illusions of who you think you are and the limits that you've put on yourself? Do you feel these vibrations palpably in your root chakra, grounding you in the physical, allowing you to become more safe and to teach you the way of having faith and being abundant in the physical plane? Like Jesus and all those other beautiful Ascended Masters that remind us that we are abundant and safe. But most beautiful, the Ascended Masters that work with our emotional center in our sacral. Are you experiencing energy in your sacral, in your reproductive organs? The womb, that nurturing of ideas, the desires, not to be afraid to dream and open up your mind's eye to see into your future and to allow it to become you. Take a moment now to see, to feel, and to communicate in your thoughts. Ask, how are you helping me? And be open now to those experiences. Notice what you see, what you hear, what you feel, and what you know in your heart. And just one final, going into our solar plexus, we begin to feel that mental energy, that ball of yellow light, that space in our solar plexus, that aha moment, that gut feeling, and where our strong will and determination resides, our power center. Take a moment now to really breathe in this beautiful ball of consciousness into your mental body, your solar plex now. Feel it being pulled into your crown. As you breathe in, it fills your belly even more. As you breathe out, it circulates through your root chakra into your whole field of energy, amplifying the vibration, bringing more power, bringing more strength. Build this up a few more breaths. Breathing in this beautiful essence of wisdom, of time and space transcendence, highest power, highest self-realized. cleansing and clearing any old constructs of the ego that is an illusion of who we think we are. Feeling hands of love at our back and our arms from all the beautiful ascended masters that help with the ascension. Opening up our beautiful solar plexus to immerse into our heart, our sacral, going in and around our torso, out through our back like this big, beautiful one ball of consciousness. Just feel it amplify. As it immerses larger and larger, it begins to become consciously aware in our throats, in our whole neck and head, as well as our root chakra, legs, feet, and all the way down. As we have amplified this empowering, this will of God, we are co-creating and aligned with God's will. This beautiful portal into pure consciousness now. Cleanse and clear it. Allow it to bathe and clear you. This is a healing energy to, on a cellular level, to dissolve and to disintegrate any falsenesses that you bought into from the illusions of separation. Any falsenesses of who you think you are from labels of your past, or the experiences that you had that you still want to transcend from, that you are beyond, you are limitless. Allow that to become like a beam of light from the heavens above down into your essence, into the core of earth. And now with this beautiful final stage, I want you to take the palms of your hand and place them on your belly. And with your heart opened and your mind opened, we are now going to begin to state after me, I am one. Repeat that after me in your mind. I am one with all. Feel that tenfold of vibration that amplifies as we say each statement. I am love. I am love. I am joy. I am peace. And smile when you say that, and say that again with a smile. I am peace. I am wisdom. I am eternal. I am healed. I am light. I am pure love and light. And now put your hand on your heart. Put your hands on your heart or hold it to prayer position. As we now just allow ourselves to breathe in this beautiful essence of the Ascended Masters, and just with one final communication, we open our hearts with gratitude and thanks, and we ask those beautiful Ascended Masters to continue to work with us in our life more noticeably. Give them permission to palpably move through you and visually show up with light, sparkles, symbols, color, the vibrations in your body through your chakras as emotional guidance and healing. I now give permission to my Ascended Masters to support me now. And I close this session with one final gratitude of thanks to the beings and to the love and light. and to continue these lessons as I go through my evening, hours, days, weeks, and months ahead with this amplified connection on a cellular level of oneness with that realm now and forevermore from God's will. So be it. And with thanks, we now allow our hands to just drop as we come to the room, bringing ourselves aware of the room, aware of our body, maybe just rubbing our hands, still giving that gratitude in our heart and just feeling that beautiful consciousness, that Christ consciousness, Buddha consciousness that we've experienced. And now I wanted to welcome all of you and say thank you for going through. It is now 8:20. The time got away with me. But I want to keep it open if anyone has any questions or would like to share their experience. And you can just unmute yourself when you're ready. Sure, Tom, go ahead.
I don't need a great big long explanation or anything, just a curious yes or no. You mentioned when you have a client and you see things around them and whatnot. Does that happen over Zoom or at all, or is it just an in-person thing?
Thank you for asking that. When I close my eyes, I could see it and I can feel it like a mirror where they are around the client palpably. When I'm with them in person, I see them. There's 3 ways our third eye works. And one of the ways is it's a projection. I am being channeled this visual that I can see, and they show up to represent where in your body they are, and they work with my understanding. And how I see ascended masters are massive beings that are above the crown or around the crown, or they're symbolic through visual color, or I feel them and I get ascended master. They show up as Christ or ascended masters, like the wonderful, beautiful symbols, like I told you about the symbols, like the staffs and things like that. Or they might show up collective, like ascended masters as groups and beings, because it's not just to earth plane, it's beyond the cosmos, right? So they could be beings that are outerworldly, that are ascended and that have been aliens on a planet and who want to really, they have a mutually beneficial role to help us with new information, perhaps to help us to heal the planet. And they have these inventions, and we're sitting here and having these engineer minds that open up to these new things, right? There's so many ways they show up, but I just went off. Sorry, you asked for a quick answer and I went off, but I hope that helps you. Yeah. Anybody else have a question or want to share? Were they able to experience the consciousness, that pure energy? And were you able to get any guidance when we asked how are you helping us in our lives? Did anybody see color or symbols? You can just put your hand up. Oh, wonderful.
I saw flashes of blue sparks.
Yeah, Jesus for me.
And I got my lip tapped. So
Okay.
I got like 3 taps on my lip, which I immediately just took as like part of, finding your voice.
Love it. That's exactly what I asked, to feel how they're working with you in your body. And, hand out your back. Yes, it's a wonderful demonstration, Yvonne. Thank you for sharing that. Yes, Martha.
Sorry, I had to unmute myself there. When you were at the heart, well, first of all, I felt 4 of them around me. And when you got to the heart part, it was like energy arms came into my heart and kind of held my heart and down. And I heard, I am worthy.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful. That's beautiful. And I find when it's not just from our mom or somebody who loves us, where we think, oh, you're just biased, you're my mom, but to really have that channel of knowingness in you, that's the most healing when it comes from like your own aha epiphany channeled message. They are the most healing. And we don't even recognize the realms where it comes from. And I just wanted to say that was a beautiful example of having, which is called, it's the, the grace of God in times where we are feeling lack or not worthy, right? And to have that experience, that is when those beings are able to move in and to really, oh, Jane is in the chat as well. I wanted to see hers. Oh, I just lost the chat. Let's open the chat. She saw pink, bright pink, beautiful pink. And she said, when I asked what guidance I was given, it was told to help my sister. Beautiful. That is a very amazing guidance. Well done, Jane. She even got a words. Often I get phrases or lyrics. They're very, very much words because they're so all-knowing, and I find that they're very claircognizant. So people who are often teachers or people who are really studies or people who philosophize or deep thinkers are often very connected to those realms. Yeah, we all are. We are not separate. Yeah. Anyone else would like to share before we end? Because this was just a wonderful, thank you so much for showing up. There will be a recording available, and I did have the music down a lot more so that you weren't distracted by the music. And I've done my best to make it, because this is Zoom, and it's I've been doing research on trying to make the sound better, but maybe we don't need the sound going forward. You let me know. You give me the feedback, okay? This is your experience. And I'm looking forward to week 3. It's spirit guides and the elementals. We're really gonna talk. This is one of my favorite realms as well. And I'm looking forward to connecting with you guys next week on that. And Jane is also sharing, is it normal to see words rather than images with the masters? Oh my goodness. Jane, you have such a vivid clairvoyance. Your third eye is amazing. Yes. Words. How your clairvoyance, your third eye works could be with closing your eyes and seeing just words. And that's that's the way spirit in general. These aren't just limited, just the ascended masters. But just know that I get a lot of downloads and intellectual ideas, and that's the realm of our mental realm. And we're channeling our channeling realm. So yeah, thank you very much, everyone. I wish you enjoy the rest of your evening. It's beautiful, and keep in touch. And I look forward to seeing you all soon.
Okay, bye.
Take care.
Thank
Bye.
you. Bye.
Oh, you're welcome. Blessings.
Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome, Martha. Bye, Sharon. Bye, Angela. Bye, Linda.
Can I ask you a quick question?
Absolutely. I'm still recording. Is that okay?
Okay.
Or do you want me to?
Oh,
okay.
no, you don't. It doesn't have to be recorded.
Okay, so I'll end the recording now. Thank you.